right as things seem to be winding down for announcements, we get a surprise. Golden Tee Arcade1up Pro line. And this looks really interesting. I think this initially came from maybe Toycade, was it? I didn't see the video, but I heard about it. And it seemed like one of those unsourced deals, and maybe he did source it. But as far as I know, there was no given source. So I was a little leery to report on it because you don't know if those things are legit or not. But often they are. Where there's smoke, there usually is fire with Arcade1up. And, well, here it is. This is on Liberty Games website. I can put a link below. It's a website in the UK. So for a lot of you are in the UK and wondering when you're going to get more Arcade1ups, a lot of you are just in Europe generally and you're wondering the same thing. This is probably a good sign. But man, look at this cabinet. The only thing that confuses me here, makes you wonder if this is not finalized artwork. Look at that marquee, Golden Tee 3D Golf. Well, when you scroll down to the games list, Golden Tee 3D Golf actually is a Golden Tee title. I think it's from 95 or 96. It predates these titles. But we don't get Golden Tee Golf, maybe Classic. And I've played this, but I've only played it on the Arcade1up. I never played Classic anywhere else. I don't know if that's just a re-release of Golden Tee 3D. And so that's actually why they're using the branding. But if that's not the case, I wonder if just the artwork is wrong. I'm not sure. Maybe you guys will know in the comments. Is Golden Tee 3D Golf the same as Golden Tee Classic? But more importantly, I mean, this really tells us a lot about the Pro line. And let me tell you, I think Golden Tee is the right answer for an early release on Pro line. I think Killer Instinct is too, but many of you are still waiting on your pre-orders. In fact, I think everybody is. They just showed up at port like a week or two ago. So you are still waiting on your brand new shiny cabinet, and then they announced the Pro line. I think Pro line Killer Instinct makes a lot of sense. I think they could have waited a couple months. But at the same time, for those of you who pre-ordered, you probably have time to cancel that pre-order and plan to get the Pro if that's what you want to do. So I don't know, you got to take the good with the bad. But Golden Tee, absolutely. The original Golden Tee came out several years ago. I have it. It's really a nice cabinet. It works great. It has a very nice control panel. But just look at this design, you know? I mean, they really evolved this design to a proper product. You could see throwing this in a bar, absolutely. The fact that these cabinets are dropping around the same time Arcade1up is talking about doing a commercial product makes sense, because this looks commercial ready, at least as a design. Is it going to be, robust enough in the controls? Will there be available parts you need to replace and repair a commercial machine? I don't know. But this looks really good. Now, by the way, speaking of this design, I suspect this bezel is just an artifact of the render. Because if you guys remember the Killer Instinct Pro line, it had a little metal emblem that said Arcade1up. This seemed to be part of the Pro line rather than this printed deal. I assume they're going to carry that design here, and they're just reusing the original. So I wouldn't look too much into that. This design probably isn't 100% locked in. But anyway, let's look at the titles. So initially, you're getting 5 Golden Tee variants. These are the same titles that came on that original Golden Tee. So there's nothing new here for you, unfortunately. And it seems like there's that line in the sand. They can't go any newer with their PCB. And this tells us that the Pro line is running the same internals as all the other modern Arcade1ups. For better or worse, it would have been nice to get the more modern Golden Tees, but maybe we'll get that down the road. And then bowling, we don't get Silver Strike, but we get some older bowling titles. So it's 8 titles in all. I think that's pretty generous to throw 8 games in here. It doesn't feel like they're holding back. They could have just given us 1 bowling title and then Shuffle Shot, for example. They didn't have to give us 2 bowling titles, but they did. And when you're spending this kind of money, that makes sense. Don't hold back on titles. Give us what you can that fits the control panel, that fits the licensor. By the way, speaking of money, this is 699 pounds. That works out to just under $1,000 US. However, that includes over $100 of VAT, value added tax. So in the US, you're not going to have that. That just goes straight to the government over there. So for you, realistically, US, you're probably talking about $850, $900. If that holds, and that is actually our price, I think that's probably a pretty good deal. If they put in a really nice trackball, maybe we finally got the HAP trackball, boys. They were originally going to do that in the first Golden Tee. They backed off. For cost reasons, they gave us a generic trackball, but it was a very, very nice one. They actually knocked it out of the park with that thing. But are we getting a real HAP ball maybe? Let's look. Original trackball control. Golden Tee has used a trackball for control. Gives the player lots of control. The other controls are simple. Yeah, there's no info here about what the trackball is, but we know they're bringing name brand controls to Killer Instinct, so that would kind of be my starting assessment, that this probably comes with a name brand trackball. When we look at the specs, let's look at this side by side with the original Arcade1up. Unfortunately, we don't get weight here. And that's where we'll start to get an indicator of, are they using higher quality wood, MDF, whatever, than they use in the current stuff. Anyway, the Arcade1up Golden Tee with the riser is 57.5 inches tall. And here it is showing as 66 inches. So almost an entire foot taller. So this is larger in every way than the original. I own the original. I would have liked to have seen new Golden Tee titles added to justify the purchase, but I'm really going to have to, it'd be hard for me to resist buying this. If it's $800 to $900, this is probably something I'd pick up, and I'd probably just sell my other Golden Tee. What do you guys think? We get pricing info for the first time on the Pro line. $1,000 was the rumored price point from the GameSpot article, but you know, this stuff's subject to change. But here we get an actual real world price of just under $900 without the VAT. Let me know in the comments. Are you guys buying this? What do you think? And let's hope some more leaks come from Arcade1up's Pro line. Take care.